Hey guys, Miss Stewart here. I am going to be your instructor for this very short summer session for technology and health and community wellness. I wanted to put together this quick video screencast to show you one of the ways that you can actually do an introduction of yourself for one of the tasks inside the orientation module. I am using a particular website called Screencast-O-Matic. And of course I paid I think it's $15 a year to have the pro version, but there is a free version that allows you to do about 15-minute increments of video. So it's essentially using my webcam on my computer to be able to let you see me, but to also give you the opportunity to see what's on my screen, which can help with some instruction. And so what I'm going to do is use this time to basically do a quick little show of what you need to do to make sure you get started correctly in this course. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and minimize and put myself down here in the corner, and what you should see on the screen is our CourseDen page. Now it may look a little different for you as a student, but this is the way that my page looks. Any announcements that I'll try to post in here as far as reminders of things coming up, I'll always post in this announcement section. But let me go to Course Builder, and what you're going to see is you're going to see several different modules. Right now you're probably only going to see modules 1 and everything else above, because if you'll notice that these do not open until specific dates. And so essentially we're going to cover a module every week. Now let me say this and be very clear. This is a 4-week class, and that sounds really nice, but there is a lot of content that we have to cover in this technology class. So just because it looks like one module a week, there will be a lot of information that you will have to cover inside that particular module. So please do not wait until the end of the week. You have a lot of assignments in this particular course, and so it is going to require you as a student, in order for you to do well in this course, you're going to have to start on these assignments and make sure that you're paying attention to these modules. You've got to be working in CourseDen every day. I know that sounds like a lot, but again, it's a 4-week class. If you think about 15, 16 weeks that we're pulling into a 4-week semester, it is a lot of information. And so I really encourage you, as soon as you can get this orientation module completed and move on to module 1, make sure that you look over the syllabus, review the guidelines, and you can actually start on a lot of these assignments the very first day. And you're going to need to do that. You're not going to have the time to be able to wait and try to turn all this stuff in at the last minute. It's just not going to work. And with technology, you've got to give yourself time in case you do have some technology issues. And so, if you're waiting till 30 minutes before an assignment is due to close and then all of a sudden you have technology issues, that's not really an excuse for me to allow you to resubmit an assignment. So you need to make sure that you give yourselves time to get these assignments completed and get them done. So let me show you a couple things here on the screen that's important. So obviously this very first day of the session, the very first thing that you need to do to make sure that you understand how to complete this course is you need to go through all of the information in the orientation module here. So if you click on it, if you've ever taken me for an online class, you know that I like to use checklists, or what some people call task list. And I'll always have one at the very beginning of each module that essentially tells you what you need to complete. And if you do those things in that order, you will have set yourself up to be able to be successful for that module. And so what I've done is I've given you a task list inside each of these. And so for this very first day, what I want you to do is first and foremost review this welcome video that I shot using a software called YouTube. It's not a software, it's an application. My apologies. It's called YouTube Capture, and it's just an application that I downloaded from the App Store, and it's of me walking around the top of the Coliseum doing a little bit of an introduction to myself. And so you'll notice down here on the bottom that you have to do an introduction of yourself, and it has to be a video-based introduction. So YouTube Capture is a great way to do that wherever you are. If you go to Screencast-O-Matic, that's another great way to use your webcam from your computer and be able to shoot a video just like what we're doing, where you can actually just use the webcam. You don't actually have to show what's on your screen, so you can just show yourself. And so again, I'm just looking for, it's more about the use of the technology, but again, give us a little bit of information about who you are, future plans, things like that. Then I want you to make sure you really read the syllabus. The due dates are on the syllabus. The types of assignments that we're going to be doing, the policy as far as online versus face-to-face, all of that is in there. For those of you that are new to online learning, I've inserted a very quick clip there of some sort of what I call key tips in order to be successful in this online environment versus face-to-face. CourseDen tutorials, again, if you're familiar with how to submit assignments, if you're familiar with how to quizzes, discussion boards, all of those different tools that come inside CourseDen, then you don't necessarily need to review that. But for those of you that may not be as comfortable, it's really important that you take the time to go in and look over the tutorials, because we don't really teach you how to use the tools inside CourseDen. We just assume that you already know those. So if you need them, they're there. Introduction of yourself. Again, read the directions, but I want you to do a video-based introduction using either YouTube Capture or your webcam. And so you're going to actually upload that video. Probably best you upload it to YouTube, and then you're going to share the link to your introduction so that we can all look on it and view it. Microsoft Office software. If you do not have Word, PowerPoint, Publisher, Excel, Access, all of those features that come with the Microsoft Office, you gotta have it. Okay, that is not an option for this course. It is free to students through the SIT Center, so you need to make sure that you use this time to get that software if you don't have it, or you need to have access to it. So if you don't, if you want to go use a local library or the computer lab on campus, you most certainly can do that, but you've got to have access to it. Know your due dates. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to know these due dates. We have a lot of assignments that we have to cover in this course, and you essentially have 2, if not 3 things due at the end of every week. And so it's going to be really important that you keep up to date on when things are due and start on as many of these assignments as you possibly can now. The drop boxes are open for certain things, so you most certainly can start on them. And then the course contract is the very last thing that I want you to do. The course contract essentially is a document that you're going to pull up, and you're going to see several statements. And what I'm looking for is that you can answer yes to those statements. If you can't answer yes to those statements, I need you to go back in and review the information in the orientation module. Most of the information is going to come from the syllabus. And so what I'm looking for is for you to be able to pull up that course contract, answer yes to all of those statements. Things like, yes, I have read the syllabus, or yes, I know when the due dates are, so that you have all of that information answered yes. You're going to type your name at the bottom, and then you're going to submit that course contract this first day of the session in the Dropbox that says course contract. Now, I am using that submission, so the submission of the course contract and the submission of your introduction as sort of my way of knowing that you are checking in to this course. And once it comes time for me to verify roles, if you haven't done one of those 2 things, then you will be dropped from the course. So it's really important that you make sure that you do this participation, okay? So once you've completed the orientation module, the next thing is to look at the document that's inside this module. It's called Instructions for Required Assignments. So on the syllabus, you're going to see module wrap-ups, Google Scholar, introductory videos, all of these assignments that you have to create and complete for this particular course. The instructions for how to do those assignments is there. It's not going to be on the syllabus, but it's there, so you can go ahead and start on those if you'd like. The other thing that is just more of a helpful tips, so for instance, this will continue to get updated throughout the semester. For instance, right now I am using Screencast-O-Matic, and if this is something that you would like to use in the future, you most certainly can. So I've given you a link there that shows you a little bit about how to use it. It's very simple. YouTube Capture, I've given you information about how to get to YouTube Capture if you're not familiar. how to create instructional videos. So I've given you some tips there. I've also given you tips on, most of you are familiar, I hope, to know that you actually have a YouTube channel because you have a Gmail account here at the university, but some of you may not know how to get to that channel. So I've given you some information on how to do that. So I'll continue to update information in this particular module that's just sort of helpful ways to do specific technology pieces for our particular profession. And then of course you've got your 3 modules, and so the very first one is going to be up until 11:59 p.m. on June the 4th, so you need to make sure, and then of course you see the due dates there for when the module will open and when the module will close. And so it's going to be really important that you follow along on the calendar. Again, any sort of reminders, helpful tips, things like that, I'll post here in the announcements piece. But I think once you complete the orientation module and you work through that, I think you'll understand and see just how this course is laid out. I don't think it's hard to see how this course is laid out, but it is going to be a lot of content, and it's not something that you're going to be able to wait until the last minute to do. It's just a lot in a short amount of time. So again, if you have any questions, check the syllabus. I would say 99% of your questions are going to be answered via the syllabus, and I look forward to working with you on this fun course this June session.